So the template of how death cannot hold us, the grave cannot hold us. 1 Corinthians 15, 55, 56 is talks about Paul talking to the grave. Oh death, where is your sting? Oh grave, where is your victory? And I believe that's what is the spiritual implication here. Enoch did not see death, and we will not see death. Yes, our bodies will die, bodily will die, but when we resurrect, we will see his face. So it is faith to even please God. The Bible says in verse number 6, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. And that's such an important verse. But without faith, it is impossible. The word impossible. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So when we come to the Lord, the Bible says by faith, of course, he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So faith is diligence. Faith is to walk that walk, even though the storms come, even through the smoke screen. We continue to believe that God is God and he is not going to let go of us. And he's a rewarder. I thank God because every time we display faith, he's bound to reward us. Well, going to the third person, Noah, the Bible says, by faith Noah, being divinely warned of things not yet seen, moved with godly fear. So next, the important thing about Noah is that he used faith to be moved with godly fear. And that's such an important word. He prepared an ark for the saving of his household, by which he condemned the world and became the heir of righteousness, which is according to faith. Again, the Bible refers to being right with God, becoming the heir of righteousness, which is according to faith. So what did he do? He, being divinely warned of things not yet seen, he moved with godly fear. And this godly fear is a very important word, because it's not talking about being afraid in a very natural sense. It is to have reverence. And I can refer back to the church I used to go to as a kid, and remember in this church you didn't have clapping, you didn't have people jumping, screaming. It was a very solemn place. Well, I'm not advocating that to be the best worship service, but my point is this: you find the reverence there, the reverence for God. Quiet. You can really sense people's attitudes, people praying, ladies especially, covering their heads and praying. Whereas today, if you notice the church settings, when I go some places, there are people using their mobile phone for a Bible. If the message comes, it comes on the same screen. Whether they're looking at the verses or looking at the messages, we don't know. There's no godly fear. There's no reverence for the things of God, and that kind of shocks me, because we are supposed to be in awe and reverence before a holy God. Even when it comes to timing, and I was making a mention even the other day in some place, that when we talk about timing, godly fear is to have reverence to God's timing, to God's house, go in a certain attire properly, dressed properly, have modesty, have a Bible, take some notes down. These are things which will is reverential to God. And maintaining time to go to the worship service, when the service is at 9, not going at 9:30 and 9:45. And this is what I mean by reverence to the Lord. And I make a mention of that wherever I go, because, after working in Malaysian Airlines, every second or third minute flight is delayed, you give a delay report. Why the flight was delayed. And if it goes beyond a threshold, you're going to be pulled up in our annual meetings and say you have not done your job properly. And I'm telling you, it's the most shameful thing if your name appears on the station list, being the station which produced the most delays. Thankfully, I have not been in that place. But I'm saying it's a disgraceful thing to be delayed, flight to be delayed from your station. But if this is the case with the natural setup, how much more should we be godly fear, moving towards the right attitude towards the things of God? There are so many arenas, I'm not going into that, but I'm just talking about how godly fear moved this man to prepare an ark for the saving of his household, by which he condemned the world and became the heir of righteousness.